This is a VR headset. VR is absolutely amazing. Wouldn't it be nice to have a virtual reality where you could roam free as a perfect version of yourself, forgetting all about the problems you have in real life and just enjoying life? Well, not necessarily. And let's see why. Virtual reality has been developing at a tremendous pace in recent years. It has been adopted by many users and even entire industries in their processes. Nowadays, you can spot VR headsets in education, medicine, manufacturing, and many other fields are waiting in line to adopt VR into their processes. There is still an absolute treasure chest of possibilities yet unexplored in VR space. The problem is, many of those possibilities, while financially sound, are not necessarily ethically good for the end user. So let's dive in and see where the VR market is right now, where it could potentially go, and where I think it should go instead. Among all the companies in the VR space, one stands out as the absolute leader nowadays. And that company is, of course, Oculus. Oculus has actually been one of the pioneers in the consumer VR space back in the day. Over the years, they have been consistently improving their VR headsets, and nowadays, after being acquired by Facebook, they are absolutely dominating the market. Their Quest and later Quest 2 headsets took the world by storm and now dominate both PC-based VR market and standalone. Oculus headsets are sold at extremely low prices. Strictly speaking, it's at a loss for Oculus itself. That is, however, very appealing for the end user considering the hardware those babies pack. This little thing here, Oculus Quest 2, is not much worse and frankly in some parts of it even better than, let's say, Valve Index that can easily cost you around €1,000 or maybe even more depending on what you buy it with. So frankly, this thing is an absolute steal for its price. Well, if you don't mind some data mining by Facebook, of course, but frankly have been warned way too many times by now. So, Quest headsets do not just dominate PC VR market, but also the standalone market just by the virtue of being the only standalone headset. Well, strictly speaking, it's not the only standalone headset, but the competition is almost non-existent at this point, really. And frankly, engineering-wise, forgetting their relationship with Facebook, a very, very solid device. 10 out of 10, all of my respect goes to the engineers that designed this thing. It's absolutely amazing. So where are we right now in terms of the VR market? Well, it's pretty simple really. Facebook is definitely the leader here right now. And with the leadership in the market, they were ready for their next step. And the next step for Facebook is the Metaverse. So the word Metaverse itself is thrown around a lot these days, with many major companies jumping on the hype train to get their piece of profits from it. But what is a Metaverse? Well, the Metaverse is basically an ecosystem of apps and services that provide virtual platforms for you to do things that you would normally do in the physical world. So you can study, you can work, you can interact with other people, you can do all kinds of things. That's the idea, at least. Some of these services Facebook is currently testing in the beta stage. I wasn't able to take a look at them personally because they're not available in my region. But frankly, looking at all their promotional materials, I don't think I am losing much, because it's some outstanding cringe if I'm honest. Now, those services in itself, or the concept of those services, isn't really a problem. Hell, Facebook itself is not really a problem. Let's just imagine there is a metaverse developed by whatever company. Forget Facebook even exists. A proper metaverse, if we look at how it's supposed to be defined, wouldn't really be augmenting reality as much as it would be replacing it. Imagine those people getting addicted to online games, spending hours, days, weeks, months, even years in online worlds, and now multiply their immersion by 10 or 100 or 1,000. And really, why would I care about the real world if I can have whatever I want in the virtual one? And well, the real world is frankly turning into a corporate-run hellhole with a multitude of problems like environment, social unrest, and countless others. Escapism is getting more and more appealing with each passing day. Let's say you want to escape the real world into some virtual paradise where you can do whatever you want and all of your problems just magically disappear. And you can also make your immersion much better with some auxiliary devices like haptic vests, like VR treadmills, like haptic gloves and all the stuff. Such devices are already on the market and they're getting better and better with each passing year. And frankly, so far sounds kinda cool actually. Why wouldn't you want to fight your friend in VR with some lightsabers and actually feel the punches? That sounds pretty damn fun. And it is fun, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is, a metaverse, coming back to the concept, would not just be the place where you entertain yourself. That would be some place where you live. You go to a virtual office to do your job, you go to virtual venues to meet other people, all while wearing your perfected version of yourself. Or maybe you go to your back-breaking 9-to-5 job and then get back and jump back into the virtual paradise. And then over time, the virtual world starts replacing your actual real-world life. And then, why look after your appearance if you have a perfect avatar? Why look after your health if you can fly in VR whenever you want? And again, it's already happening to people addicted to online games. It's not that much of a stretch, honestly. And let's be honest, if tomorrow Google decides to open a VR office, every single startup in Silicon Valley will want to be like Google and also buy VR headsets for their employees. And there you go, you now have a metaverse with running virtual offices. You're pretty fucked. Problem is, we ultimately live in reality. And sure, you can achieve some success in the digital world. That's what I'm doing right now. My videos exist in the digital reality, really. However, what gives those digital achievements value is their connection in one way or another to the physical, real world. Purely digital achievements aren't really that fulfilling for most people. You can run from it, you can hide from it, you can delude yourself, but deep there in your head, you know it. So the virtual paradise that you fell in love with at first will soon turn out to be a prison cell. A pretty fancy cell, but a cell nonetheless. And really, this is a perfect setup for a company like Facebook to make some money. Imagine you already have a running metaverse where people work, study, have social interactions, do whatever else. And you are the ones in control of the entire environment. You control their new reality. Imagine that your users need some virtual furniture. You can just copy-paste those digital assets. There is no additional cost to producing new goods in the virtual world. It's perfect. Hell, you can even involve your users, your existing customers, to make more digital assets and then make them sell it on some internal marketplace, while you are taking a cut of the deal. And on top of that, you can sprinkle some sweet, sweet scarcity. And soon enough, people will be storming virtual supermarkets on a Black Friday. Now, is it just me, or does it actually sound like some virtual dystopian shithole? And the biggest problem I see is that some people, unfortunately, may actually be kind of okay with it. Escapism really is one hell of a drug. Many, if not most people nowadays, are absolutely miserable. And this trend is not positive. Turning your life around towards becoming something better takes tremendous effort, while giving up initially requires nothing. How many people you have seen that decide to go to the gym after the new year and then give up after a week? Exactly. So people might actually start using those services for a good reason. They want to become more productive, they want to get better at studying, they want to improve their mental health perhaps. But the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Now, do I actually believe it will get that bad? No. I am still naive enough to have hope in humanity, and I'm dying on that hill. And frankly, the metaverse is being developed by Facebook, which already tells you enough. By now, the dumbest idiot in the world knows not to approach Facebook, especially when it offers to control such a large portion of your life. Really, Facebook doesn't really offer much that you couldn't get from other providers. All of its metaverse services already mimic existing solutions from other developers. Social venues? That's basically a boring version of VR chat. Workplaces? There are already virtual workplaces. And this will be true for every single service that Facebook decides to roll out, so just go check out VR chat instead. Now, but that is the ethical side of the story. Technology itself is not good or bad. Technology is just technology. Can we actually use it for good? Well, yes, actually, and that's the best part of this whole thing. The potential in VR for different industries is actually absolutely tremendous. Imagine a remotely controlled surgical robot, where your surgeon can be on one side of the planet while the patient is on the other, and using VR controllers you can actually precisely control all the necessary tools. Wouldn't that be amazing? Imagine fully online universities that don't need actual labs, where you can simulate all of your equipment, where you can simulate entire factories or nuclear power plants or whatever. With VR, you could finally make disciplines like physics and chemistry that normally require very expensive equipment available to more people. Look at how available software engineering is. You don't even need to go to the university. Other disciplines could become like that as well. Imagine a language school where you could invite students from all around the world and have immersive experiences. Like you come to some shop in a virtual reality, you interact with AI that talks to you in a natural language, and you can actually interact with things. You can have that AI comment on its environment. It would be absolutely amazing for language practice. There are things we cannot do in the physical world, sadly, and VR can come to rescue in those cases, actually bridging that gap between what we want to do and what we can do, effectively augmenting reality instead of replacing it. We already have a reality, we don't need a new one. We just need more opportunities in that reality. So in conclusion, is VR cool as shit? Hell yeah! Is it potentially dangerous? Of course it is. Just like any other technology that can take advantage of human weaknesses. But the thing is, we have every opportunity to drive it towards the good route. And that route is potentially very good. If you haven't tried VR yet, I really recommend visiting some local VR arcades and trying actual proper VR. Not one of those shitty smartphone-based headsets. If you have one of those, just throw it in the garbage bin. They're trash. That's where they belong. I'm talking some actual, real, PC-powered VR experiences. Who knows? Maybe we will run into each other in VR chat in the future. Just look for the weird guy, that will be me. I would like to thank you once again for dropping by my channel and watching my videos. I really appreciate that, you cannot imagine how much. I would also really appreciate if you left a like under this video, maybe subscribed, doesn't take much to click the button. Maybe press the bell button for whatever reason. Maybe leave some comments, who knows. I also started making shorts recently so that you guys wouldn't get bored waiting for new full-length videos. So enjoy those. And with all that, I will go make some more videos and I will see you later. Enjoy!